on their home floor. As you know darn good and well that the Bearcats are going to be here to play, as Minneapolis Lions will fight the Bearcats here. As we played the girls already, it's time for the boys matchup.
We beat them by 10 and 7 this year. I don't expect it to be a blowout game.
No, I think you're right. It's going to be a tough one. It's been close, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be a tough one.
Even though they've had opposite seasons, the Lions are 16 and 4, and the Ellsworth boys are 6 and 14. We're number 1 seed. They're number 8. None of that matters tonight.
No.
Well, you got to remember they start a 6'6", 6'5", 6'4" back line on this team, and they can be tough down low.
Absolutely. As Ellsworth Bearcats they've got a couple young players that are pretty darn solid. One of them is a sophomore, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, Clinton Glazer, and he hurt us in the first game, didn't he?
He hit 23 the first game against us, and we finally found him in the second half and held him just 11 points in the second time we played him. So we did a pretty good job in the second game. But that first game, he was all world.
Yeah, he was, and we did a much better job, as you said, the second time we played him. First time we met them, they've got some size down in that low block, and they've got some outside shooters, and that this is what they're going to be wanting to try to take us down, and we're going to have to fight hard through this one. As Minneapolis, as we get the starting lineups here, Clancy Smith for the Ellsworth Bearcats. Clancy Smith, a 6'5" senior for Minneapolis Lions. Casey Argenbright, 5'9", junior. Number 4, Evan Shively, a 5'10" junior for the Bearcats. And for the Minneapolis Lions, number 15, Grayson George, 6'1", junior.
I remember Shively had quite a few baskets there in the second meeting.
For the Ellsworth Bearcats, it looks like number 5, Tanner Rohr, 5'10", junior. For Minneapolis, Logan Wheeler, 5'10", senior for the Lions. For the Ellsworth Bearcats, 6'4", senior, Ethan Fink, 6'4", senior for the Bearcats. Pretty good sized kid down low. And for Minneapolis, number 33, number 33, a 6'3" junior, Dylan Crossan. And for the Bearcats, number 15, Clinton Glazer, a 5'10" junior. So they have 6'5", 6'4", and then a bunch of 5'10s. And then Keegan McCulloch, a 6'3" senior for the Lions. That's your starting lineup. Minneapolis will be in their home white. The Ellsworth Bearcats in their traveling red.
Then they can come off the bench with the 6'6" Levi Freeze. So they do have a lot of height.
If I remember right, they went fairly deep in their bench, didn't they?
Yeah, they play 8 or 9.
So Minneapolis, as we will have the start here in just a second. Minneapolis, as I said earlier, in their home white. Ellsworth Bearcats in their traveling red, and this one's going to be a tough one tonight. Minneapolis is going to have to come out and fight hard. As Dale said earlier, they won by 10 the first time, 7 the second time, and it's going to be a battle tonight here on Minneapolis home floor with a chance to move on to the second round of SubState. And we will have the tip here in just a second. Grayson George will tip the lines. Minneapolis, last game we played, Grayson had an excellent game at Russell. Mike. By the way, how did the Teacher of the Year ceremony go?
Wonderful thing.
Wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can talk more about that at halftime or maybe one of the breaks. So tip will be here in just Clancy Smith and Grayson George getting ready to tip. Ball is up, and it will go in the hands of Minneapolis as Casey Argenbright has it. Argenbright to set it up for the Lions. Rolls around the right-hand side, gets it to McCulloch. McCulloch back to Grayson George. Grayson Shot up and good. Nice job by Grayson George as he hits a bucket from the left corner of the free throw line. Minneapolis has the early lead 2-0. Ball on the outside goes Glazer. Glazer kicks it over to Shively, and the ball is going to be tipped out of bounds. It will stay with the Bearcats. Roar to inbounds for Ellsworth. As he gets it in the hands of Glazer. Glazer on the outside, back to Roar. Roar guarded by Weedle. A little bit of a double team at the top. Roar takes it around to Glazer. Glazer swing pad, dribbles in the lane. Should be walked with it. Yeah, good call by the official there. Good defense by Casey Ardenbright.
I was going to say, Casey gets the tough draw of the defensive assignment to try and hold Glazer down. I'm sure they'll trade off on him.
Grayson George on the outside. Grayson gets it back to McCulloch. McCulloch gets it inside to Crossan. Crossan in the lane, up and good. Nice job by Dylan Crossan. Takes it right to the big guy and spins around and gets the bucket. Glazer with the ball on the outside as he'll set it up for the Bearcats. Glazer guarded by Argenbright. Kicks it over to Roar. Roar guarded by Weedle.
Big Blue making a statement right off the bat, getting that ball down low, Scott, and crossing up and in.
And the steal right there. Nice job with the steal, Casey Ardenbright. Pulls it right up and takes an easy shot off the mark. Rebound gets in the hands of Smith. Smith will bring it down for the Bearcats. And it's going to be, I thought nearly stolen, but three-point shot by Glazer, in and out. Rebounded by McCulloch.
McCulloch went right up over the top of Dylan Crossan for that board, way up there.
Ball's tipped out of bounds by Shively. Nice backdoor pass by McCulloch to Weedle, but Shively got a hand on that one to tip it out of bounds. Grayson George to inbounds, gets it to McCulloch. McCulloch gets his man up in the air, and there will be a foul. Ellsworth fans want to travel. Foul's going to be called on Clancy Smith.
Foul's on number 0, Clancy Smith.
McCulloch will be up in line to shoot two. First shot is up and good by senior leader Keegan McCulloch. Second shot coming. 5-0, Lions with the lead. Second shot is up, and it is good. Makes them both 6-0, Lions to the lead. Ball will go into the hands of Glazer. Glazer guarded by Argenbright. Glazer picks up his dribble, gets it back to Smith. Swing pass over to Roar. Back to Smith. Smith drives, switching pass over to Shively. Takes the shot up, no good. Argenbright goes up high. Wow, way to go, Casey Argenbright, as he got up there against the big guy, didn't he?
Actually, Glazer was
over his back.
But he did a great job of getting position and keeping that ball.
Casey was way up there.
Had a good position, as you said, Dale, but he did get up in the air on that one. Argenbright to bring it down to set it up. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Grayson George. Grayson back to McCulloch. McCulloch back to Argenbright. Argenbright swing pass over to McCulloch. McCulloch gets it into Grayson George. Grayson's shot is up and good, and he makes it. Wow. Nice job by Grayson George. He had bodies all over him.
They fouled him before the shot and after the shot there, I think.
And the bucket is good, and he'll go to the line. Second foul on Quentin Glazer.
Oh, wow, that's a big foul.
George.
Shot is up and good by Grayson George. 9-0 as ball will come down in the hands of Roar. Roar guarded by Weedle. Roar picks up his dribble, gets it over to Glazer. Glazer on the outside. Look at the double team. Picks up his dribble, gets it back to Smith. Smith's swing pass, and it's going to be kept by Grayson George after the turnover. Grayson will bring it down himself, back to Weedle, looks at the three, and he takes it off the mark.
Logan, with all the time in the world, pulled the trigger on that three ball. I was almost ready to count it.
Jacob Freeze, 5'10", sophomore, checks in for the Bearcats, as Glazer will sit down with 2 fouls. Shively will bring it down for the Bearcats, guarded by Grayson George. Gets it back on the hands of Roar. Roar gets into Smith. Oh, nice job. Good block by Grayson George, but he has a body on him. And that's going to send Clancy Smith to the free throw line.
You know, Scott, we don't give Grayson George enough credit for his jumping ability. He out-jumped the Smith kid at the tip and then had his hand on that block right there.
Yep, just had a little body with him or he would have outdone him. 2-shot foul. First one is off the mark. So we'll have another one coming. 9-0. Lions with the early lead. 5:04 left to go in the first quarter. Second shot coming by Smith. Shot is up and it's off the mark. Rebounded by Crossan. Into the hands of Grayson George. Grayson will bring it down for the Lions. Back to McCulloch. Back to Argenbright. Swing pass over to Weedle. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch at the top of the key. Back to Casey. Casey will set it up as Minneapolis gets ready to run some offense here. Gets it back to McCulloch. McCulloch at the free throw line. Drives in. Up and no good, but Crossan gets his own rebound and puts it in. Nice job by Dylan Crossan. Great rebound underneath by Dylan after the miss. Good hustle by Dylan Crossan.
Slipped in there for the offensive glass. My gosh, and the stick back was rock solid.
Freeze.
Up and in.
Back to top of the key. Goes to Roar. Shot up and off the mark. And he stepped out of bounds. Good call by the official right there to watch that one. And it'll be a back to the Lions.
Nice start. Here by Big Blue. Couldn't ask for a better start, huh, Dale?
Not at all.
Argenbright to set it up. 4:08 left to go in the first quarter. Casey to set it up. Back to McCulloch. At swing pass over to Grayson George for three. In and out. And rebound. It's going to be fouled. A foul by number 13, and that is Fink.
That big post player, Argenbright's in there again.
That's his first foul.
Working the boards.
Levi. Now there's a Freeze. I'm sorry. 6'6" Levi Freeze checks in. I'm not sure how to pronounce Jacob Froze.
Levi Freeze.
Argenbright back to Grayson George. He'll take the three there, and it's good. Nice job, Grayson George. 14-0 Lions with the lead, and Bearcats are going to take a full timeout. Wow. Nice job by the Minneapolis Lions as they start out with a 14-0 lead right here to start the first quarter. 3:49 left to go. Let's take a break. You're listening to 910KNA.com as well as Eagle Communication Channel 8. Well, let's go ahead. Since the commercial didn't come on, I'll ask you, how did the Teacher of the Year award go?
Well, Putnam City is the biggest school district down in Oklahoma City, and they have 26 schools. And Lindsay was elected Teacher of the Year in her school.
In her school.
In her school. So then they have a nice banquet for the 26 Teachers of the Year, and then they pull one out of that. And the accolades of some of those teachers, 35 years of service, and it was pretty cool, and they really did it up right. It's a really nice banquet, and then they had a nice cake and thing with the faculty there at the elementary school the next afternoon. So it was really kind of nice, and Dale was right. I didn't have too many buttons left on my shirt after that.
I'll tell you, I bet not, and that's a pretty proud moment for her father, and congratulations to her. She's a great
pronunciation of number 30 is Phrase.
Phrase. Congratulations to a great daughter as well. So Minneapolis with the lead. Ellsworth with the ball goes in the hands of Smith. Smith at the top of the key, guarded by McCulloch. Smith drives it in, gets it back out, and nearly stolen. Swing pass the top of the key, back over on the outside to Roar. Roar picks up his dribble, goes back to the free throw line, shot up, no good. McCulloch gets up here. Wow. Nice rebound by McCulloch.
6'6" guy just ripped that ball away from him.
Swing pass over to Crossan. Crossan back to Argenbright. He'll take a three. It's off the mark though. And it'll be out of bounds. Back in the hands of Ellsworth as Roar brings it down for the Bearcats. Fraze shot is up and good as Jacob Fraze hits first points of the night for the Bearcats. Argenbright on the left-hand side. Casey back to Grayson George. 14-3 Lions with the lead. Back to Logan Weedle. Back to Argenbright. Argenbright to set it back up the top. 2:36 left to go in the first quarter. Argenbright picks up his dribble. Back to Crossan. Crossan Back to Argenbright. Casey gets it into Crossan. Crossan has a partial block, and it'll be out of bounds off of Minneapolis as the Lions will get in.
And that's where I think Freeze plays about the best, down low on the defensive end. He's got long arms. He can block those shots in close like that, and blocks one there.
Garrett Doherty checks in, as well as Owens and Yoxel, as Wheel and Crossan will stay on the floor. Smith on the outside, Backer on the outside, and there's a blocking foul called on Logan Wheeler.
Second team foul. First personal.
First foul by Logan. As Fraze will inbounds as number 23 checks in. Robert Muro checks in for the Bearcats.
Owens, Joxel, and Doherty in for the Lions.
Freeze on the outside. Oh, nice pass. And the bucket is up and good by Levi Freeze. And the turnover right there. Minneapolis gets a costly turnover right there as they give one up there. 14-5. Minute 55 left in the first quarter.
Charlie Lynn replaces
Dylan Crossan. Yep. Ball goes on the outside. Back in the hands of Freeze. Back to Smith. Smith. And there's going to be a foul on Tyrell Owens as he gets to reach in. And that'll be the third team foul. As, well, they've got some size, don't they, guys?
Yes, they do. 6'6", 6'5" in there right now, and that's tough to defend, but Charlie Lynn's going to have the task of guarding the 6'6" Freeze.
Muro guarded by Doherty right now. Gets back out to Fraze. Back to Smith. Smith back on the outside, goes to Rohr. Rohr will drive. Back out to Fraze. Oh, nice little drive by Fraze. There's, oh, yes, thank you very much. Nice job by Andrew Yoxel to stand his ground, and Clancy Smith lowers his shoulder and throws him out of the way. Foul on Smith.
That's a good call.
Second personal.
Yoxel backpedaled 2 steps after Smith put the shoulder to him, and good call.
Mason May, 6'2" senior, checks in for the Bearcats. Argenbright will check in also for Doherty as Grayson George checks in for Logan Wheeler.
Back in the game for Minneapolis, number 15.
Gonna run clock, guys.
Number 3, Argenbright.
Minute 15 left as Argenbright pulls out to kind of set it up here. Minute 10 left to go in the first quarter. They're going to be content to work it down to the last second shot here.
Ellsworth back in a box and 1. They've got 4 in a zone here. They're coming out now, but number 30 is guarding George all over the floor. Fraze.
And he's pretty quick, that Fraze kid. He's a sophomore, but he's pretty stout and pretty quick. Ball goes on the outside to Owens. Back to Grayson George. 45 seconds left. Back to Yoxel. Yoxel back to Argenbright. Casey back on the outside to set it up. They're still getting enough room. They're not going to count it off. Back to Grayson George. As you said, a box and 1. Fraze all over Grayson George, and the foul right there on Fraze. 16 foul, and next one puts him in the 1-1. Fraze's first personal foul.
31 seconds in the quarter.
Grayson George inbounds. It's to Argenbright. Casey will bring it down across to set it up here. Back to Yoxel. Yoxel on the outside. Ooh, almost a turnover right there. Back to Argenbright. 18 seconds left as Minneapolis works around to set it up. Grayson George on the outside. Back to Charlie Lynn. Charlie Lynn back to Argenbright. Casey on the outside. Back to Owens. Back to Charlie Lynn. And the turnover right there. So 4.5 seconds left. Not what you want to see right before the end of the first quarter.
Mason was going to have to catch and shoot. There's just 4.5 seconds left, and the pass was a little bit high.
Yeah, nice job with the steal there by Yoxel. They do not get a shot off as Minneapolis has a lead at the end of 1, 14-5. Ellsworth goes on a little 5-0 run there to end the quarter. Minneapolis had a 14-0 lead as Ellsworth finishes out 14-5 at the end of 1. You're listening to 910candy.com as well as Even Communication Channel 8.
CNR Plating would like to take this time to thank their many friends and customers for making their business what it is today. Kevin also wants to wish the Minneapolis Lions a great season. CNR Plating, a Lions sports backer. If you're searching for the right insurance to fit your needs, look no further. The Scott Osherman Agency is the place to go. American Family Insurance has been providing security and peace of mind for over 80 years. Call the Scott Osherman Agency in Minneapolis, your American Family Insurance agent.
Welcome back to Minneapolis as we get ready to start the second quarter. 14-5, Mike. Minneapolis starts out very hot. Ellsworth kind of gets a little action going towards the end of the first quarter, and then they kind of hold us in check.
Blazers riding the bench, so their top scorer, I think, not a factor here in the first half.
Roll with the ball on the outside, gets it in the hands of Fraze. Fraze had a big three-pointer as Fraze guarded by Argenbright. Back to the outside, shot up at the free throw line, off the mark, and should be out of bounds off of Freeze, and it'll be Minneapolis ball. Freeze, 6'6" junior. He's all height and doesn't have
yeah, he needs to get in the weight room real bad, don't he?
He could use just 10 pounds of muscle.
I'd give him 20 pounds of I'd give him more than 20. Ball goes back on the outside into the hands of Argenbright. Casey back to McCulloch. McCulloch looks into Crossan. Crossan wisely comes out. Gets it into Crossan in the lane. Shot, blocked away. Crossan gets called with the charge. That is Dylan's first foul. Wow. A good swat on the inside. I don't know who swatted that away, but I thought maybe, didn't see that one coming. As Fink checks back in, as he checks in for Freeze. Ball goes in the hands of Shively. Shively will bring it down for the Bearcats. Shively swing pass over on the outside to Murrell. Murrell back to May. May back to Shively. Shively back to Fraze. Fraze swing pass over on the outside as he gets back to top the key. Bearcats swing over to Fraze. And Crossan's going to get called with the second personal foul as Charlie Lynn's going to have to come in and relieve him as Crossan and Fink were battling down low as Blazer checks back in for the Bearcats as well as Charlie Lynn. Blazer to inbounds for the Bearcats.
Into the lineup for Ellsworth, number 15.
Good defense there. Oh my goodness. Wow. Fraze tracks it down, but I thought he took an extra step right there.
You are absolutely right.
Fraze shot off the mark, rebounded, back in the hands of Fraze. Bearcats with the rebound. Blazer on the outside. Back to Fraze. There should be a charge. Oh, wow. Did they call a charge?
Yeah, he put his forearm out.
Did they? I didn't.
Moved him away. Yep.
How many fouls? Is that his first?
Second.
Second on Fink. So they're watching the big guys pretty close, both forward lines and the Bearcats.
Kind of pushed off just a little bit.
He was clearing the lane there. Didn't have a blocking back, so he was going to make his own way.
Argenbright on the outside, back to McCulloch. Nice backdoor pass to Weedle, and he finishes it. Nice job with the backdoor as Minneapolis.
Great pass.
First score we've had in 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, gets a bucket right there. 16-5, swing pass over to Glazer. Glazer drives, and a blocking called on Casey Argenbright. That'll be his first personal foul, 16 foul.
Casey didn't give a loud enough grunt there, I guess.
Glazer, such a quick step. So, Glazer will get it inbounds to Murrell. And it's stolen by McCulloch. And he finishes it. Nice job by the Lions as they get the nice finish right there.
Full stride. He didn't need to put the ball on the floor there, did he? One step and up he went.
Glazer on the outside, kicks it back over to Murrell. Murrell back to top to Fraze. Fraze back to Glazer for three, and he drains it. That's one you're going to have to keep an eye on, and he worked well off of the screen right there. 18-8 Lions with the lead. Argenbright to set it up for the Lions. McCulloch working hard at the top. Back to Casey. Casey. Charlie Lynn picks it up. Back to Argenbright. Casey will set it up. Back to Grayson George. Grayson back to McCulloch. And he'll be fouled as he takes it all the way in. Nice job by Grayson George. I think that's probably on Fraze. Didn't see for sure. As his second personal foul.
Keegan had an opening all the way down the baseline. Smartly took it all the way to the rim.
McCulloch off the front of the rim on the first one. As John Michael checks in, as well as Tyrell Owens, as Argenbright and Weedle will have a seat. Number 41, Levi Freeze checks in for the Bearcats. Second shot coming by McCulloch. 5 minutes left in the second quarter, 18-8.
18 fouls on the Bearcat here.
Second shot is up and good. Glazer with the ball for the Bearcats, guarded by Owens. Gets it back over in the hands of Shively. Shively guarded tightly there by John Michael. Back over to Glazer. Oh, wow. And Grayson George comes down with somebody grabbed the net there.
Yes, they did.
Kind of surprised we didn't get a goaltending call.
Well, that was rimming off at the same time. So.
Back to McCulloch. Shot from the free throw line, off the mark. Gets his own rebound, though. And back to Grayson George for three. Off the mark and rebounded in the hands of Murrell. Murrell gets it up to Glazer. Glazer takes the three-point shot off the mark, and that should be over the back. Yeah, nice job as Freeze goes over the back. Now we'll go the other direction. Somebody will be in the one-on-one. No.
Yeah, we're in the one-on-one. Nice foul.
Yoxel checks in for Charlie Lynn as McCulloch will go to the free throw line. Checking in as Rohr checks in for Murrell. So Keegan will have a one-on-one here. 9 team fouls for the Bearcats. 6 for the Lions. Shot is up and off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Freeze. Back to Glazer. Glazer to set it up for the Bearcats. Guarded by Owens. Glazer off the mark, rebounded by McCulloch. Back to Grayson George. Backcourt. Good call by the official. I think the crowd wanted a foul. Grayson just lost his footing over there, and then when he did get grabbed possession, he took it back over, and it goes over and back, turnover.
Glazer tried to draw the foul and flopped over there, but no one bid on that.
Ball goes on the outside to Glazer. Glazer will drive. It's it back over to Shively. Shively back over to Rohr. Rohr from the free throw line. Off the mark and rebounded by Tyrell Owens.
Tyrell took that away.
Turnover goes back to the Bearcats as ball will go into Rohr. Rohr back to Shively. Shively back to Smith. Smith guarded by McCulloch. Swing pass over to Shively. Back to Glazer. Glazer guarded by Owens. Back to Smith. Smith back to Freeze. Freeze back to Glazer. Nice tight man defense. Back over to Glazer. There's the turn right there. Nice job. Nice defense by Minneapolis right there, Mike, as they, tight man defense, and they were playing it very tight as Minneapolis forces the turnover.
Persevered and kept it tight all the way and created a turnover. Now Ellsworth with some full court pressure. And
Ellsworth with the turnover.
Yeah.
Andrew catches, takes an extra step, and gets the turnover.
Only 5 points for the Lions in these 5 minutes of this quarter.
19-8, 2:56 left to go in the second quarter. Freeze on the outside, back to Smith. Smith back to Glazer. Glazer drives. Oh, blocked by McCulloch. Nice job by Keegan. Up in the hands of Grayson George. Grayson back to John Michael to set it up. John Michael back over to Grayson. Grayson on the outside, back to McCulloch. McCulloch will drive around. Drives in the lane. Shot is off the mark. Yoxel with the rebound. Swings up and, in and out. But McCulloch with the rebound and the finish. Nice job by the Lions right there. Great job, Keegan McCulloch, with a nice box out. As John Michael had a good look and was just in and out.
That's what you like to see from your senior leadership. McCulloch forcing the offensive glass and the stick back.
Freeze on the outside, rebounded by John Michael. As Darrell will bring it down for the Lions. Back to Grayson George. Grayson back to off the hands of Shively. That was close.
Darrow came off close on that.
Yeah. As Weedle and Argamite check in for the Lions. As Grayson George as well as Owens get a breather. Ball goes into Argamite. Argamite back to Weedle. Into Yoxel. Yoxel takes his man in the air. Argamite gets his man up in the air. Can't get it to fall. And Weedle chases it down. Nice job by Logan. Back to, nice pass into Yoxel. And he's going to be fouled. Yoxel takes it in, but that's going to be 2 on Freeze, I believe. 3 if it is on Freeze. And it is. Levi Freeze with his third person. No, they've got him for 2.
Yeah, with 2.
Okay, I looked in the wrong spot there. I looked at the other Freeze. It's Freeze. Sorry, Yoxel misses the front end of the 2-shot foul. As checking in will be Mason May. Yoxel will have another one coming as Grayson George. Second shot is up, and it's good. As Yoxel gets it to fall, as John Michael will check out, as Grayson George will check in. 22-8 Lions with the lead. Minute 36 left to go here in the first half. Glazer will walk it down, guarded by Argambright. Picks up his dribble, gets it back. And he walks with it. Good call by the official there. Good defense by the Lions. They had a set play on that one. It was Glazer all the way, but Minneapolis plays tight on defense. Full court press picked up by the Bearcats. Ball goes into Argambright. Back to Grayson. Grayson will break it across the half-court line. Back in the hands of Yoxel. Yoxel on the outside. Back to Grayson George. Grayson back to McCulloch. McCulloch to set it up. Gets it back to Argambright. Minute left here in the first half. Casey rolls around, gets it to McCulloch. McCulloch back to Yoxel. Yoxel back to Grayson. 48 seconds left. Minneapolis back in the hands of Weedle. Back to Argambright as Minneapolis works some clock here. Back to McCulloch. Grayson George guarded by Glazer for the Bearcats. They give him a little breathing room right there, and then they start to count off. Quick pass over to Yoxel. Yoxel back to Argambright. 25 seconds left. Back to Grayson George.
I would take 22-8 going into halftime, but we could get greedy here and get a bucket.
I would love to get a bucket here. 14 seconds as we go to set it up. 12. Timeout called by the Lions with 7.6 seconds left, as we will take a timeout with them. 22-8, 7.6 seconds left here in the first half. Minneapolis with the lead. We'll be back. You're listening to 910KNA.com as well as EU Communication Channel 8.
At Robertson Monument, they believe that supporting community activities are very important. That's why they're sponsors of Lions Sports. Minneapolis is a great town to live in, and Robertson Monument hopes you make it to as many games as possible.
Welcome back to Minneapolis as on the floors Logan Weedle, Yoxel, Grayson George, McCulloch, and Argenbright. You know that they're going to pick up a press here. That's interesting. They pulled Glazer out with 2 fouls. They don't want to take a chance here.
Yeah. That's a good move.
Back in the hands of Argenbright, down to Grayson George. Grayson shot up and off the mark, and it's going to be off of McCulloch. It was 6/10 of a second. Nice look.
McCulloch come flying in there like he was going to almost get a handle on it and a stick back, and he's done those before.
And that's going to end the first half as Minneapolis has the lead at the half, 22-8, as Minneapolis scores 8 but only gives up 3. They increase their lead here, 22-8, as we had a lead at the half. You're listening to 910KNA.com as well as Eagle Communication Channel 8. We'll be back with some stats here in just a minute. Dale, I think we will. So let's go ahead.
Medalists.
Let's keep it back here as we have 2 state medalists. And Mike, I'll let you talk about this for just a second.
Well, we had a great weekend at Hayes. We had a 3rd place finish and a 4th place finish. Coach Giles, actually, if I wish we had our program, because it lets us know just exactly how many years. This is the 40th year for wrestling at Minneapolis. And Giles has been the coach for 23 or 24 years.
87, 88.
How many final finishers have you had, Dale?
I have 17 in the gold division finals and 9 gold medalists now.
Wow. Right here today, Adam Klein was a 3rd place finisher. One of his matches was a triple overtime deal. Oh, it was phenomenal. Corman had just a tough draw all day long, wrestling up the backside. Had to wrestle 5 times. And wrestled for 3rd place. Ended up with a 4th place medal. So big day for John Corman and Adam Klein.
And John Corman was 4th place.
Adam went 4-1 at the state tournament.
Both seniors?
Yes.
With a 32-7 record.
32-7 season record for Adam Klein, as I just said. And we'll listen for some stats for John Corman. Nice job by Adam Klein to increase and go from 6th to 3rd, and that's pretty nice honor for Adam Klein. And a great young man.
Now John went from 5th to 4th.
Both of these kids are great kids.
Yeah, they had a great shot at 3rd place. It was a great match.
John, a senior at 125 pounds, placed at the state tournament for the 2nd consecutive season. John placed 5th last year.
5th last year, as you just said. 4th this season.
He has a very aggressive wrestling style, which makes him a consistent wrestler that is always fun to watch. John went 4-2 at the state tournament this season. He won 93 matches in high school.
Wow, 93 matches in high school. That's pretty amazing.
Nice career. Sure, Coach Giles would take any kid that giving 93 victories during the course of their career. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Got to see some fantastic wrestlers down there, along with our 2 great wrestlers, but we had a lot. Nick Torres.
We're talking about him now, guys.
Tyler Constable. Weston Penn at 119.
Nick Torres, senior at 171 pounds.
Nick Torres, 171 pounds.
Austin Crossan.
Yeah, interesting on Austin Crossan. He lost to Tate Omley, which is your state champion at 189 pounds. Is that right?
He was 34-0. Yes, he was the state champ, and they thought it was possible they would end up wrestling each other. They did. Very good friends, but Tate, of course, pretty well put together young lad. Austin wrestled well all day long and wrestled again on Saturday, but Omley just pretty well state champ.
Yeah. But nice job by Coach Giles and these wrestlers.
In the state championship match this past weekend.
And Chaz Hawk
also like to recognize
has a big hand in the coaching.
Team from here at Minneapolis. Mr. Jeff Giles with 20-plus years as our head wrestling coach.
That's pretty awesome. Nice job by Coach Giles. And he just is such a class act. Does such a nice job with these kids and demands respect and gets respect and just teaches these kids.
Assistants, Mr. Jerry Mick and Mr. Chaz Hawk.
Chaz Hawk and Jerry Mick, the assistants, and both of these guys, great assistant coaches. So.
And the question around school is, what would Giles say?
What was that, Mike?
The question around the school is, what would Giles say?
What would Giles say?
That's the T-shirt everyone wears.
Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't know that. So,
well, you got stats ready, or should we take a break?
You got stats ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Minneapolis just really great on defense here in the first half. If they can keep up that type of intensity, we're going to take home a victory and go to Beloit and play on Thursday. Minneapolis allowing Ellsworth just 5 points in the first quarter and 3 points in the second quarter for a total of 8. Glazer had 3, Freeze had 2, and the other Freeze had 3.
Phrase. Yeah. A great job defensively on Glazer. Kid is such a quick release and quick ball handling. They've got quite a few players with 2 fouls as well.
They are a little bit of foul trouble. Smith with 2, Fink with 2, Glazer with 2, got 2 real early in this contest. Freeze with 2, and Fraze with 2. For Minneapolis, Andrew Yoxel had 1 point. Grayson George leads all scorers with 8. Logan Weedle with 2. Dylan Crossan with 4. And Keegan McCulloch, 2, 4, 6, 7, has 7 points here in the first half.
Nice job by McCulloch as he does a nice job. Nice job right there. So good scoring for the Lions. They're going to have to come out in the second half and continue to fight hard as we're about 3 minutes away. So let's go ahead and try to take a break here, and then we'll be back here in about 2 minutes for the start of the second half. Welcome back to Minneapolis, and real quick, Mike, what's the Lions going to have to do here in the second half to secure a victory?
Well, Ellsworth, as you might remember, we had a little bit of a letdown on the defensive end, let Ellsworth right back in that ball game, and Minneapolis cannot afford to do that here tonight. As Ellsworth, you need to keep them down while you got them down and keep the intensity up on the defensive end, and get the ball down low. I think we do pretty good work when we run our stuff and get it down low to Crossan.
Ball goes into Grayson George. Fadeaway is off the mark. Argenbright comes away with it, though. Logan Weedle on the outside. Gets it back to Casey to set it up. Casey rolls around the top of the key. Picks up his dribble. Gets it to McCulloch. McCulloch is going to drive all the way in. Shot off the glass and good. Nice shot, Keegan McCulloch, as he takes it to the left-hand side and off the glass. Not afraid to take it to the big guy right there, as Glazer will set it up for the Bearcats. Glazer swing pass on the outside. Shot is up and off the mark, and rebound in the hands of Glazer. Glazer back. Shot is up and good by, I believe, Fink.
Yes, number 13.
Ball back in the hands of Argenbright for the Lions to set it up. Back to Weedle. 3-point shot. Oh. Air ball. Nothing there for Weedle right there. Has a good look and has a hand in his face and can't get it to finish. Ball will go in the hands of Glazer to set it up for the Bearcats. Glazer rolls around, kicks it on the outside, into the hands of Rohr. Rohr back to Shively. Shively on the outside, back to Rohr. Back to Shively. Shively rolls around the outside, swing pass, deep three-point shot, off the mark, and rebounded in the hands of McCulloch as Grayson George and I believe Fink gets an elbow in the eye, as a lot of battling going on down low. So as Fink will take a breather as he gets hit pretty hard. Going to have a headache for a while, I believe.
It looked like it was swelling kind of fast. Ice bag might be needed right away on that one.
Freeze checks in as ball will go into the hands of Argenbright, back to Crossan, swing pass over to Grayson George. Grayson back to McCulloch. McCulloch back over to Logan Weedle. Logan Weedle back to Grayson George. Grayson goes inside to Crossan. Crossan has some extra man in the help. Inside, Grayson George with the rebound and the putback. Nice job.
Nice follow-up by Grayson George. Rebound and stick back. Crossan had it down low. It was just mugged by a double team.
Oh, wide open is Glazer for an open look. Rebounded by Grayson George.
Back to Glazer just hasn't been quite on it. He's hit a couple, but could it be worse?
Grayson George on the outside as ball will go into McCulloch. McCulloch drives in, a reverse inside. Good, nice job by Keegan McCulloch. He does such a nice job with the reverse. Mike, he just does a great job of driving to get that reverse.
Such a quick first step. Left Smith in the dust and went to the reverse on the backside.
Rohr for three. Off the mark, rebounded by Grayson George. Glazer about picked up three right there. Into the hands of McCulloch. McCulloch will bring it down to set it up. Drives in, and it finishes, and it's good. Nice job, Keegan McCulloch, as he sees the opening, takes it right in, and he gets the bucket and one.
You know, he was smart to hold up right there. Stopped and popped from about 8. A one-hand runner. It went in, and he was fouled. He would get the and one. That's Smith's third foul.
Third foul on Smith, and McCulloch will go to the line for the and one here. Shot is up and good. 31-10 as Andrew Yoxel will check in for Dylan Crossan. Nice job by Dylan Crossan as he gets a breather there. 31-10 Lions with the lead. Keegan McCulloch with 7 big points here to start the second half. Rohr on the outside, guarded by Weedle. Rohr drives all the way in. Nice drop down pass to Shively, and he finishes it. They try to get a trap right here as Argenbright will bring it down to set it up.
I've noticed some teams have tried to press us, full court pressure, but you know, we really haven't had too much trouble all year long.
And Minneapolis with the turnover right there, tried to go back to a pass. And the steal right there by Casey Argenbright. And the foul. That's third foul on Glazer. That's a frustration foul as Glazer picks up the foul right there.
He missed him the first time and then reached in the second time. Ref says, well, that's not smart, and rang him up.
Argenbright to bring it down to set it up. 4:32 left to go in the third quarter. Grayson George on the outside. Back to top to McCulloch. McCulloch over to Argenbright. Argenbright over to Grayson. Drop down and, can't finishes it. And misses the inside bucket.
He won't miss many of those, will he?
No, he won't. Ball goes to Fraze. Fraze drives, and he'll get fouled and go to the line.
That's McCulloch's first foul.
Keegan. As Doherty, Lynn, and Owens getting ready to check in for the Lions. At the line will be Fraze. Shot is up and good. As Argenbright will check out, as well as McCulloch and Weedle. Grayson George and Yoxel will stay on the floor.
Good move by Coach Shoup. Seems like McCulloch, once he gets one, he gets two. And three real quick.
Fraze at the line for the second shot here. Shot is up and good as he makes them both. Ball goes into Yoxel. Up to Owens. Lions break the press back to Grayson George, back to Doherty. Doherty into Lynn and tries to drop down low, and turnover will go back to the Bearcats. Ball goes back on the outside into the hands of Murrell. Murrell back to Glazer. Glazer guarded tight. And there's going to be a foul on Charlie Lynn. Charlie Lynn will pick up his first personal, I believe. Yes. At the line will go Levi Freeze.
You know, they're just looking for Glazer on the backside, that skip pass. They're trying to get him open, and so far Minneapolis doing a good job on the defense.
First one is, oh my goodness, in. I think uses every bit of that rim as Garrett Doherty will check out, as Darrow will check in. Freeze with the second free throw attempt coming. Second shot is up, and he uses all that rim and he gets it.
They coached them both in.
Into Owens. Owens crosses the timeline back to Grayson George. Grayson George back to Darrow to set it up. 3:29 left to go here in the third quarter. 31-16 Lions with the lead. Back to Owens, back to Yoxel. In the lane, off the mark. Freeze with the rebound. 3 times down the court we've had an opportunity, haven't been able to finish it. Freeze back to Glazer. Glazer, oh, nice drop down pass. Oh, great block as they call the body foul as Grayson George gets a lot of body. He had a nice block though.
That was a great block.
What was our halftime score, guys?
Halftime score was 22-8.
Oh, okay.
They've outscored us here?
No, I was thinking we had more than that. That's
no.
Number 15, Grayson George.
9-8 so far.
He makes both of these, they will.
At the line is Fraze. First shot is off the back of the rim. They finally miss a free throw here in the second half. So.
Yeah.
Second shot coming by Fraze. Second foul on Grayson. And it is off the mark, rebounded by Yoxel. Darrow will bring it down for the Lions. Back to Grayson George. Grayson on the outside. Back to Yoxel. Back to Darrow. Into Grayson George. Grayson back to Darrow. Into Charlie Lynn. Back to Yoxel. Back to Owens. Back to Darrow at the top of the key. Grayson, shot is up and good. Nice job by Grayson. Just steps in the three-point range after makes his man miss, and he drains it just inside the arch. Nice double team there. Oh, and that's going to be back. Yep, nice job by Minneapolis there on the double team. Charlie Lynn had a great double team at the top about the M, and it forced the guy to lose the handle on the ball, and it'll be a turnover back to the Lions.
Last game he was in that I saw him, he put too much body on the guy and fouled him, but perfect defense right there by Charlie to create the turnover.
Darrow on the outside drives, back to Yoxel, back to Owens. Weedle checked in for Grayson George. Shot is up and off the mark, and the foul.
Owens with the foul, I think.
I think it's Weedle. We'll see.
Yep.
Can I call it or what? Logan Weedle with his second personal foul. 33-16, 2:04 left to go here in the third quarter. Glazer on the outside, guarded by Owens. Picks up his dribble, gets a swing pass over to Murrell. Murrell into Freeze. Back to Murrell. Three-point shot off the mark. And it's going to be off of red. It'll stay with Minneapolis.
Off laser.
McCulloch, Crossan, George, and Argaby check in. And Weedle will stay on the floor. So nice job by the Minneapolis.
Crossan, George.
And also checking in will be Mason May as he checks in for Levi Freeze. McCulloch inbounds. Full court press picked up by the Bearcats. Back to Argenbright. Argenbright rolls around. Back to Grayson George. Grayson back to Weedle. Weedle back to McCulloch. Back to Grayson. Minute 28 left here in the third quarter. And Grayson George backs away, gets it back to Argenbright. Argenbright guarded tightly there on the top as he picks up his dribble. Back to McCulloch. Back to Grayson.
They're going to run this all the way down. They aren't even looking for a shot.
No, they're not. Back to McCulloch. That's the reason why.
Substitution.
As they get the turnover right there with the travel. And that'll give Ellsworth the ball here about right at 59 seconds left in the third quarter. Glazer looks to the side for the call. Gets it back in the hands of Fraze. Fraze. And there's a turnover right there. Nice job, Minneapolis, as they force the turnover. Gives Minneapolis another shot at this with 48 seconds left. I'd push it down and get a shot real quick.
Ain't gonna happen.
It's like the NBA.
That's right there. Why not? Oh, wow. Dylan Crossan can't get it. He's fouled back. Nice job by Dylan Crossan. I'll tell you, I don't know who blocked that, but that was a pretty good block by Ellsworth.
Heck of a deal.
Wow. Fraze is going to be fouled.
Oh, they're going to call that on the floor.
No way.
Yep.
39 seconds left. Third foul on Fraze. Into Crossan, back to McCulloch, back to Weedle. Back to Argenbright. Casey back to Weedle. Back to McCulloch with 29 seconds left. Back to Grayson. Back to Argenbright. Casey. Back to Crossan. Back to Grayson George. Nearly gets the ball stolen there. And it is stolen. Wow. And the putback. 3-point shot. Oh, my goodness. That went over the net. That went over the volleyball net, and that sucker dang near went in. Rainbow. Oh, my goodness. That was pretty amazing. That would have been pretty amazing right there. It rims in and out. We did not get the bucket as Ellsworth, I believe, probably outscores us in that quarter. Nope, 11, we still outscored them. Anyway, 33-18. We will take a break as the Ellsworth Bearcats, Minneapolis with the lead by 15, 33-18.
Farm Bureau's wide range of insurance and financial products help protect what's most important, your family, auto, home, and other possessions. Call your Farm Bureau Financial Services agent in Minneapolis, George Dressy. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company. Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company.
Let's make it delicious. Let's make it fast. Let's make it a meal from KT's in downtown Minneapolis. KT's, home of the almost world-famous hamburger. KT's wishes the Lions best wishes during the upcoming season. The State Bank of Delphus and the Ottawa County Bank in Minneapolis are locally owned community banks, committed to making your banking experience as easy and personal as possible. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Minneapolis as the Lions have a lead 33-18 here as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. On the floor is McCulloch, Crossan, Weedle, Argenbright, and George as Bearcats will have the ball. And they get it in the hands of Glazer. Glazer with the ball as he will roll around to set it up. Glazer gets it back in the hands of May. May back to Smith. Smith swings it across to Fraze. Fraze guarded by Weedle. Gets it back on the outside. Swing pass back to Glazer. Glazer guarded tight by Argenbright. Glazer a little push off. Drives down. And off the mark. Rebounded by Argenbright. Casey will bring it down for the Lions. Back to Grayson George. Looks inside to McCulloch. Goes back to Argenbright. Argenbright rolls around. Back to Logan Weedle for three. Off the mark. And, great hustle by Keegan McCulloch as he tips it right out of his hands. Great job by Keegan McCulloch right there.
Thievery. McCulloch quick to the baseline. Tipped it right out of Ellsworth. I think it's Smith's hands.
That's going to be off the mark. This time it's rebounded by the Bearcats as we miss the shot.
Great job getting back on defense, Minneapolis. They had a 2-on-1.
Yeah, they did. Smith with the ball. And they got a charge called on Ellsworth. I believe they're going to call it on Fink. We'll see for sure.
Glazer.
Glazer. That's full on Glazer.
No wonder his mouth was open so wide.
The foul is whistled on number 15.
Checking in will be Cunningham.
He couldn't believe it.
Cunningham checks in.
Checking in
He gave the ref a look as he walked off the floor.
Cunningham.
Glazer just with 3 points in this game, Scott.
Fourth foul. Argenbright back to George. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch back to Argenbright. Back to Weedle. Weedle will take a three, and he drains it from the top of the key. That one was nothing but net. Gets his first points of the night. No, fifth point of the night. 36-18. Ball goes on the outside. Back to Fraze. Fraze guarded by Weedle. There's going to be a foul. Weedle's. So.
Logan thought he was there to the baseline first. He was, but he did not have position. And Fraze, pretty strong individual.
Yeah. Fraze guarded, tied by Weedle. 3 fouls on Logan. Smith on the outside. Guarded by McCulloch. Gets it back to Fraze. Fraze.
5 seconds here.
Close. Ball goes back in the hands of May. May back to Cunningham. Cunningham. Good hustle by Dylan Crossan as gets the steal. Back to Grayson George. Back to Weedle. Back to Grayson. He'll take the three. And he drains it. Nice job by Grayson George as he hit the big three-pointer right there. And Ellsworth's going to call a timeout at the 5:55 mark.
You get those two cylinders hitting those threes from the outside, and they aren't going to come close.
Katie barred the door.
Yeah, nice job by the Lions as they hit 2 big three-pointers here to start the fourth quarter. 39-18, Lions with the lead. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to 910canday.com as well as Eagle Communication Channel 8.
City Pharmacy has brought to you quality professional pharmaceuticals since 1963. Joe and Amber Wool will help you with your medications, durable medical equipment, cosmetics, gifts, and greeting cards. Your hometown pharmacy, City Pharmacy, downtown Minneapolis.
Ada Grain is proud to be a sponsor of Lions Sports and hope that the boys and girls have a successful season. Ada Grain believes that sports and a quality education go hand in hand, building strong bodies and minds.
Roth Repair has been a fixture in Minneapolis for some time now. Fixture, get it? Roth Repair can fix, replace, maintain, patch, build, remodel, and mend just about anything. The work is professional and the cost is reasonable. Roth Repair, Minneapolis. Call them today if you need something done right the first time.
Welcome back to Minneapolis as the Bearcats will have the ball here. Minneapolis with the 39-18 lead. Ball goes in the hands of Fraze. Fraze guarded by Weedle. Fraze picks up his dribble back over to Smith. Smith on the outside, guarded by McCulloch. Back on the inside to Fink. Fink at the free throw line. Back to a pass. And shot is up and good by Fraze. Back to Grayson George. Grayson back to Argenbright. Back to Weedle. Back to Crossan. Grayson George, a big rebound right there. Gets it somehow out of there and gets it in the hands of Argenbright.
Might have had a push off there. No call.
Ooh. 3-second violation going to be called on Crossan or McCulloch, one of the two. So Keegan,
it was McCulloch.
Keegan looks over and says, "Oh, come on, I wasn't in there that long."
Oh yeah, he's and the referee's still laughing. Says, "Well, I got to call it. Sorry."
Smith on the outside, guarded by McCulloch. Swing pass over to May. Oh, nice pass down low, and a charge called. Casey Argenbright steps in and takes it. How many times this year have we seen that, guys? That was huge.
Many times.
Casey Argenbright has stepped in and taken a lot of those as Fink gets his third foul.
And what amazes me when he gets it underneath the basket.
Yeah, I know. So, Grayson George will bring it down across the timeline.
You could hear the air go out of Casey when Fink hit him. Fink 6'4", about 215. Has to drag it just a little bit, Logan.
Substitution.
Fourth turnover by the Lions here in the second half. Blazers checks back in for May.
Ellsworth has stepped up the defense just a little bit more, a little more pressure on their ends. Minneapolis is going to have to be pretty accurate with passes.
And the turnover right there. Nice job, as you said, right there. They step up the defense a little bit right there. Nice job.
George tips it out of the ball holder's hand and went off of Glazier's foot.
Grayson George gives it back to Argenbright to bring it down to set up for the Lions. Casey brings it down across the timeline. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch back to Weedle. Weedle in the crossing. Crossing puts it up, and they're going to be called with the charge. Well, we've had a lot of those tonight.
Well, a fine line between.
He is trying to go through the guy instead of around him there. So
he's been consistent with that call. You're right.
He has.
Called it on
Both plays. So Murrell checks in for, I believe, Cunningham. Yep. Also checking in, and for the first time, Joshua Rankin. Back goes on the outside. And foul is going to be on the floor, called on Grayson George. Grayson with his third personal. 3:59 left to go. 39-20. Lions with the lead. Is checking in will be a fresh five as Darrow, Doherty, Owens, Yoxel, and Lynn check in for the Lions. At the line will be Fraze. First shot is up and off the front of the rim, rebounded by Yoxel. Back in the hands of John Michael. Darrell rolls around the right-hand side, back to Doherty. Back to Owens. Owens back to Darrow. We're playing tight defense now. Darrow shot up and off the mark, rebounded by Rankin. Rankin back in the hands of let's see, Glazer. Glazer just so stinking quick to the hole. So he'll be fouled on Yoxel, and at the line will be Glazer. Now I'm assuming these will be nothing but net. First one is up and good. Third point for them in the third quarter. Fourth quarter. Second shot is up and makes them both. All goes into Darrow, back to Yoxel, back to Doherty. Back to Lynn. Back to Darrow. Darrow rolls around. Wow. Doherty shot up and missed. Back goes in the hands of Smith. Rebounded by Doherty.
Tried to do a Keegan McCulloch imitation there.
Doherty will bring it down across the timeline. Oh, nice pass down the low to Charlie Lynn. I can't finish it. Nice job, Charlie Lynn. Charlie Lynn with a great pass by John Michael. And that is the fourth foul on Smith. At the line will be Charlie Lynn to shoot two. First shot is up and good by senior Charlie Lynn. Nice job as he gets his first points of the night. Second shot coming. It's up and it is good as well. Makes them both. Great job, Charlie Lynn. All goes into the hands of Murrell. Murrell stolen by Tyrell Owens with a nice steal right there. Doherty will bring it down for the Lions. Back to Owens. Back to Doherty. Swing pass over to John Michael. Back on the outside. Top of the key goes Yoxel. Yoxel back to Doherty. Doherty. Back to Owens. And foul. Timeout called by Minneapolis.
30-second timeout.
Oh, I thought they called a foul.
Timeout.
Timeout. Okay. 41-22. We'll take one with them. 2:35 left to go in the ball game. Lions with the lead, 41-22.
It's fast, it's furious, and it's fun. It's Minneapolis Raceway. Minneapolis Raceway has brought you exciting races to central Kansas and will continue the tradition. Minneapolis Raceway will give you and your family some of the most exciting races ever seen. Go Lions!
The Minneapolis Junior Senior High School Lionbackers are proud to continue their long-term support of the broadcast to the Lions games. Join them as they support student activities and the teachers of Minneapolis Junior Senior High School. Go Lions, we're with you all the way.
Welcome back to Minneapolis. Garrett Doherty will inbounds for the Lions as he will try to get it inbounds, and he gets it into Charlie Lynn. Charlie Lynn back to Darrow. Darrow guarded tightly on the outside. And back to Yoxel. Yoxel, double team. Oh, nice defense there by the Bearcats. Back on the outside goes to Cunningham. Rankin. Rankin will take the three, and he makes it. Rankin with the big three right there. Doherty on the outside. Back to John Michael. And he can't get it to finish, but he'll go to the line to shoot two. Nice job by John Michael to go ahead and take it into the hole. They were trying to foul us. Doherty was fouled down there. 2 minutes left to go in the ball game. Fifth foul on Smith as he will sit down. Is no points for the big guy?
I didn't have him with him.
Wow, that's huge. So
6'5" and didn't score a point.
Checking in Zachary Olson for the first time. Senior, 5'9" senior checking in for Olson. So John Michael misses the first one. As also checking in will be Tanner Rohr as he checks back in the ball game as he checks in for Fraze. So Ellsworth's played everybody tonight.
They sure have.
So second shot coming is up and good by John Michael. It's back in the hands of Rohr. Will bring it down for the Bearcats. Swing pass over to Glazer. Glazer. Shot off the mark. Rebounded by Yoxel. Yoxel into the hands of, that's 5 on Glazer. If that's
a little frustration foul there.
Yep, Glazer's gone as well. So Glazer will sit down with 5 fouls as he ends the night with only 5 points. Wow. I'll tell you, this has been an extremely nice defense by the Lions tonight. They have done excellent tonight on the defensive side. Yoxel will step the line to shoot a 1-on-1 here. First shot coming, and it's up and off the mark. Rebounded by Bearcats into the hands of Rohr. He'll bring it down to set it up. And stolen by Yoxel. Nice job by Andrew Yoxel with the steal. As John Michael will bring it down. Back to Yoxel. Yoxel across the timeline. Back to Darrow. Darrow back to Doherty. Doherty back to Yoxel. Back to Darrow. Minute 20 left to go in the ball game. As back to Yoxel. Lions now content to run some clock, and they do so nicely to Doherty. There's the foul on the Bearcats. Number 3, as Zachary Olson with his first personal foul. Doherty will go to the line. As Charlie Lynn checks out, as Garrett Pounds checks in. As nice job by Charlie Lynn tonight. Doherty at the line. Shot is up and good. Nice shot. Nice job by Garrett Doherty as he gets the first of a 1-on-1 there. Second shot coming by the junior. Shot is up and off the mark. Rebounded into the hands of Fink. And foul on the lines as Tanner Rohr will go to the line. 43-25. Minneapolis will come away with a nice victory tonight. I was coming into this, Mike, I was a little nervous about playing Ellsworth.
I always am, just because of the physical status that they put out on the floor with the 6'6" freeze and 6'5", 6'4" kids, but we're able just to manhandle them.
What makes one of two as I'll go back to the hands of Yoxel. Yoxel back to Owens. Owens back to John Michael, back to Pounds, back to Doherty. Doherty back to Owens, back to Yoxel. 46 seconds left. Back to Darrow. It's back to Yoxel. Back to Pounds. Oh, wow. May just takes it away from him. Rebounded by Darrow. Darrow will bring it down for Lions. With 20 seconds left, Lions content on this one. They will get it to Doherty. 15 seconds. Back to Darrow as this one out. As the Lions come away with a nice victory tonight. 43-26 as Minneapolis advances to the second round of SubState. With the 43-26 victory. Nice job by Minneapolis as they fight hard, Mike, and they come away with a nice, hard-fought victory here in front of a great crowd tonight.
Great crowd. Minneapolis held Ellsworth to just 26 points in this game, so yeah, it was a good defensive effort.
Nice job by the Lions tonight. As you said, they fight hard and they hold them to. And we'll get through some paints there, but only one quarter did Ellsworth get in the double figures mark, and that was the third quarter with 10. Other than that, the Lions was in double figures every quarter except for the second quarter, as they score 8 in the second quarter. So nice job by the Lions as they come away with the victory tonight by a score of 43-26. Bill,
catch this stat. This is the fewest amount of points Ellsworth has scored against us since 1948.
Wow, fewest points scored since 1948.
That score was 50-20 on
3A.
January 2nd in a holiday tournament here at Minneapolis.
Denny's having some struggle tonight.
You'll get it, Denny.
So Minneapolis comes away with the victory tonight, 43-26. Dale, do we take a break real quick?
Yeah.
Let's take a break and we'll be back with some stats. Minneapolis Lady Lions and the Lions both come away with the victory. Well, we'll go ahead. We're going to have an interview in just a second. Run through some scores real quick as Coach Shute gets up here as we get. Can you run through some stats real quick?
Whenever you're ready.
Go ahead.
Scoring for Ellsworth, Minneapolis, a great job on the defensive end. Ellsworth held to 26 points. Shively had 2, Rohr had 1. Rankin off the bench late had a 3. Fink only had 2. Glazer, he just did a phenomenal job on Glazer all night long, had 5. Freeze had 4, the big guy, 6'6", and Fraze off the bench was the leading scorer for Ellsworth with 9. Minneapolis scoring, John Darrow Jr. had 1, Andrew Yoxel had 1. Grayson George with 15, I usually say led all scorers, but we've got a high scorer here tonight. Logan Weedle had 5, Dylan Crossan had 4, and Keegan McCulloch will lead all scoring tonight with 16. Charlie Lynn had 2, and Garrett Doherty had 1 off the bench. So great defensive effort here tonight, Coach. What do you think?
You said it. I love the defense.
Yeah.
That's the thing we can hang our hats on tonight offensively. I thought in the first half we were pretty darn efficient. Second half I thought we got a little sloppy with it, but all in all, we haven't had that game yet offensively where we get 3 guys going. We've had a couple where we get 2. As long as we can continue to defend and rebound the way we are, and we'll be efficient on the offensive end, and that game's going to happen for us at the right time. So it was a good win. That's as good of an 8 seed. I mean, are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and we were talking about, we're looking at that coming in, we were both kind of like, that's one that you really don't want to play as an 8 seed.
Yeah.
And, if they've had some tough, they've had a tough year.
They've had a tough year.
They've got some talent there, and they're deep.
Yeah.
So
and I thought they played hard. They missed some shots tonight, and I thought our defense was good early, kind of taking them out of what they wanted to do. And like you said, Casey came out and did a great job on the Glazer kid, and then when Casey wasn't on him, then Tyrell came out. I mean, the Glazer kid just never really got a clean look because of Tyrell and Casey most of the night. Were just played good, solid defense on him, and so did everybody else. I mean, we did a pretty good job.
Dale gave a stat here. Fewest points that Ellsworth has scored against us since 1948. Wow, 26 points. That was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome for the Lions. But I felt like the defense kind of set the tone, as you talked about. They held their own against us. We only scored 8 points in the second quarter. They scored 8, kind of held their own. But other than that, Minneapolis they continued to just pull away a little bit at a time.
Yep.
They set the tone in the first quarter, and then just kind of pulled away after that.
Yeah. So. Well, we always talk about getting single-digit quarters defensively, and we got that 5 the first, 3 the second, and then we had it there in the third, and we just didn't really execute very well at the end of that quarter and gave them a shot. And but 3 out of 4 is not bad, and we'll take that. If we can keep doing that the rest of the way, that'll be good for us. So
Ellsworth still in the ball game there late in the third quarter. I thought and they made a run on us the 2 previous games, and I was kind of waiting for that 6-8 point run, and we kind of kept them at arm's length all the way through, and then just there at the fourth quarter we hit 2 trays in a row, and both guys were clicking from the outside. We were getting open looks. And Dale said, Katie, bar the door, because if they gave us 2 more looks like that, it was history. But then Glazer hit a couple free throws. Charlie Lynn matched his free throws, and this thing's over with. So.
Yeah, it was a good performance. It's good to get that win. It's good for the seniors last game on their home floor to walk off the floor with the win there, and hopefully we can get 2 more here and keep on going. So
more than just 2, we want 5.
Well, we do one tournament at a time.
Okay.
2 more will be fine.
Another interesting, and I don't have this stat, but something that we have seen throughout the year is Casey Argenbright stepping down in that low block underneath the basket and taking a charge. I don't know how many times we've seen that this year, but I mean he's getting charges against 6'4".
Yeah.
I mean big kids that are just leveling them, and I don't know how he does it.
He's a gutsy kid. He keeps bothering me about that stat. He's like, I want to know what the all-time charges is. I said, I don't even know if that's kept, but. It's something we take pride in. Casey takes pride in it. Our kids are pretty fearless when it comes to that. They know that's their job, and that's just good team defense. I think that's a great example of playing for your team there when you're willing to.
Got a really convincing grunt, and the air comes out, and that's just it. That's part of the game. You got to be able to take it, and he positions himself very well to start with, and. Now that charge.
Let's move on for a second. I have not looked at the bracket to see who we possibly play on Thursday at 6.
Phillipsburg and Hoisington play tomorrow night, so we'll play the winner of that game. Hoisington's the higher seed, so we'll just have to see. But we're ready. We're going out and scout them tomorrow. We've got some game film and things like that, so we'll just kind of take it from there.
So you get to drive to Hoisington tomorrow.
Again, you betcha. That's all right. I'm happy to do it. It's better than having to stay home. So.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, your daughters are up here to get a hug. We're going to let you go, and but congratulations on a great victory.
Thank you.
We greatly appreciate it. We thank you for the time to coming up here, and congrats to the boys. As Minneapolis comes away with the victory tonight by a score of 43-26. As they will, they live to play another game, Mike, and they play on Thursday at 6 o'clock at Beloit as they move on to the second round of SubState.
Now, this time of the year, you win, you move on, and if you lose, as Dale mentioned, you go home. So it's a big win. Both
our girls and the boys get to move on. The girls play either Norton or Beloit. We're thinking Beloit. And the boys play either Hoisington or Phillipsburg, and we're thinking Hoisington. But you never know at this point, as Minneapolis will play. The girls play Friday at 7:30, and the boys play Thursday at 6. So we will go ahead and say goodnight from Minneapolis as your Minneapolis Lady Lions as well as the Lions come away with the victory tonight as both advance to the second round of SubState. We will say goodnight from Minneapolis as both the Lions and the Lady Lions come with a victory. Good night.
Good night.